Order at 4:30 p.m. All present. Trustee Candelaria Orr, Garrison, Lopez White, Ogamian, and Zekowitz. Okay. Now on to public comments on closed session items. At this time, any person may address the board on any closed session item. Pursuant to our Brown Act, the board cannot consider issues or take action on request during this comment period. Time is limited to 3 minutes per person per item, 20 minutes per topic.
And these are all with the.
Okay, for our first, okay. So no public, okay. So closed session, item C1, consideration of student readmission. Case 225-02. C2, public employee performance evaluation, superintendent. C3, public employee appointment. The board will meet regarding the salary or compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits for the position of superintendent, an unrepresented employee. C4, public employee appointment. The board will meet in closed session to discuss any employment contract with the superintendent, an unrepresented employee. And then lastly, C5, conference with labor negotiators. Okay, so we will move into closed session at 4:31.
If you guys could just go here and lift it on the.
If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Oh, at 6 p.m. I was going to say that. Okay, there we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so agenda item F, approval of agenda order. The board reserves the right to change the order in which agenda items are discussed and/or acted upon at this meeting. Subject to further action by the board, the agenda for this meeting is to be approved as presented. Items may be added to this agenda for discussion or action only as permitted by the Brown Act. Do I have a motion?
Well, I move to approve the agenda.
Okay, thank you, trustee Garrison. Do I have a second? Or sorry, Lopez White, my bad, sorry. That's-
I will second.
Okay, thank you, trustee Garrison. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And then our preferential is, oh, that's right, she actually does not start till September, my bad. Okay. Now on to public comment on consent and non-agenda items. The public may address the board on any consent or non-agenda item. Pursuant to the Brown Act, during this period, the board cannot consider issues or take action on any item not listed on the agenda. Time is limited to 3 minutes per person per item, 20 minutes per topic. Do I have anyone in our lovely audience that has any comment on?
You will have an agenda item.
Okay. Okay. Now for agenda item H, we do not have any closed session reportable action taken. So do we just go with the motion, or do we, with student readmission case 225-02? Okay, so nothing. Okay, so no action. Okay, so on to consent calendar. The CUSD Board of Trustees utilizes a consent calendar for items that require the approval of the board, but are of routine nature. They act upon these items in one vote. Any member may remove an item for additional questions. Board members receive their agendas and backup materials 7 days in advance of our meetings. They have the opportunity to ask questions and to do research prior to our meeting. It is their intent to handle the routine items expeditiously, so they have time to address issues that are more serious. So does anyone want to poll anything on the consent calendar? Or do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I don't have any poll. I'll make a motion to approve all items on the consent calendar.
Okay, I have a motion from trustee Lopez White. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Trustee Ogamian seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So now we are moving on to CSEA, Chapter 170. Any association reports? Nope.
Maybe he didn't hear.
Oh, is there any CSEA? Oh, that's okay. That's totally all right.
Got double duty going on right now.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Jimenez. I'm the chapter president for our local chapter 170. Just wanted to say that we are very thankful, well, not thankful, but we are very excited to see everybody back. I know tomorrow being our first day back to school, it's exciting to see all the staff back, teachers, board members, parents, and of course our students, and of course all of our classified members. Just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. We did get a new labor rep. Her name is Jennifer Hitson, and I believe Mr. Glenn has already, we've been exchanging some emails. We look forward to, again, working with the school district and, of course, setting up some dates so we can all get to meet everybody from the district office and, of course, continue our negotiations. Other than that, thank you guys and welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now on to Teachers Association of Cloverdale.
Hello, good evening. My name is Whitney Westfall, and I'm the new president for our Teachers Association of Cloverdale. I look forward to working with you guys this year. The teachers are super excited to be back into their classrooms. The construction at Jefferson has definitely been an interesting battle of itself. So I'm hoping once the first couple days get it underway, we'll kind of get through that motion. Yeah, we're really looking forward to the school year and getting back into our negotiations this fall. And we also have a new CTA rep. His name is Josh Ye. And so you guys will meet him later on down the road. And yeah, this is going to be a good start to a year. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, on to school reports, K1 Jefferson Elementary.
Good evening. Welcome back. I can feel all of the amazing energy on our campus, getting ready for tomorrow. We had a couple of just really quick things to add. We had a fantastic and very successful orientation on Friday that I forgot to add into the board report, and that was amazing. And I believe Kathleen Bunting and a lot of other support people were there to help with PDC. At some point towards the end of our orientation, district-wide, we were up to 73% completion. And I know that's a big deal because in the past, we've been, percentages much lower than that. We had a very adorable and informative back-to-school night for kindergarten and TK, and lots of parents with bright eyes and lots of questions. And our 1st through 4th grade back-to-school night will be August 21st. So I didn't include that in my board report. I just want to make sure you knew. And welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, what time is the back to school night?
It is 5 to 7, and the grade level rotation is like ever changing every year. So we'll be sending things out, and when I have it, I'll get it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, now moving on to Cloverdale High School. Washington. Sorry, Shauna. There we go. Just gonna jump straight to Forest. I know.
Well, good evening. It's really nice to see everybody. You have my report as submitted, but just like Ms. Holden, I would like to add a couple of things. Number one, you are all very much invited to come to campus at any time. Contact me. I can set it up, and I have some new ideas about what to do during a visit. So I'm excited to try them out on you, if you agree, of course. Also, our back-to-school night is the 20th. And it starts at 5:45, where we meet in the gym and then dismiss at 6 o'clock to go visit the classrooms. I don't think I put that in my board report, and I meant to. We had a very successful orientation, and a lot of people played a big part of the orientation. And so it started with Margaret and Sonia doing a lot to make that happen because we had to do it in a different area. And then, of course, we had Daisy and Araceli just doing all kinds of copying and making sure that everybody had everything they needed at all of the different stations. And then, of course, we also had our web program, which is where everybody belongs. And so our 5th graders were there for about 4 hours. And we had Jacob Pruitt, who is our web leader, leading all of that, and Ashley Rink was there also supporting. And so it really took a whole group of people to make the event happen, and I thought it was very successful. And it was also successful because the kids showed up and the parents were there, and everybody kind of played along with, dropping off their 5th grader for a few hours. And so I very much appreciate that. And I think our school right now looks absolutely beautiful. So the work that Margaret and Sonia have done throughout the school, it's amazing. And also our fields look really good. They are playable and ready to go day one. And that's really something that I want to set the tone for the kids at school. And so having the lawn ready to go and accessible and the rest of the school in such great shape, I just can't really say enough about the work they've done and just the conscientiousness in which they do it. Also, the teachers are just on fire right now, in a good way, getting ready to go for the year. And there's lots and lots of collaboration. And we also have some new teachers that are, new to the campus and figuring everything out and being befriended by other staff members. So we're off to a good start. And I look forward to the year.
Thank you so much. Now on to Mr. Harper.
Hello, everybody. We had our orientation and it was fantastic. Last year we had 14 tables set up for different groups and organizations. The year before was 13. This year was 21. So we had a lot of different groups. We had Sonoma County Behavioral Health. We had a new nonprofit called Grug's Thugs that helps teens get their license for free, and they were there promoting. So it was really great. It was a really great turnout. It was our best orientation we've had in years. So we were very proud of that. In 2 weeks, we have our back to school night, which is Thursday, August 28th. And other than that, you have my report as submitted.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Okay, 28. Okay, now on to Nicole. Agenda item L, special education and student services report.
And you have my report as submitted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now our MOT report. Is it as submitted? Okay. Now on to board reports. Does anyone have anything to report out? It has been summer, so I have nothing to report, so.
Nothing.
I have nothing to report.
I have nothing to report. It was great all summer seeing a lot of Cloverdale students out on the softball fields, and that's where I spent most of my summer. So that's my report.
Okay, wonderful. On to superintendent report, community facility use.
Yeah, so we have, I'm going to bring this to your attention, and we don't have to do anything right now, but it would be good to get some direction. We have a lot of community members and community groups that are putting in to use our facilities, which is fine, but we're starting to get a lot of car wash asks. And as you know, our water bill is pretty high. And these are organizations that are not necessarily, I know they're all our students, but they're not necessarily like our own organizations, meaning like high
running
school
through boosters.
FFA
Yeah.
or wrestling team or something like that. There are other organizations. So I believe we need to kind of have a somewhat of a policy to be able to decide what we're going to do, if we're going to still allow that. Are we going to charge for certain events to be able to have or not? So we need to have that discussion. So I don't know if you want to weigh in on that now, or if you'd like to wait. If we wait until September, most of our car washes are probably coming to an end at that point. But questions or information you would like me to bring back to the board?
Well, if we decide to, sorry, I'm kind of jumping in here. I mean, obviously, we know that we're already having to cut after we did the 1.5 million. I don't think it's too much of an ask to see some type of water bill recouped, but what that looks like or what you guys are thinking, how do you feel about that?
I think it's totally reasonable because water rates have increased over the years. It's one thing if it's run through one of our school-sponsored sports and, sponsored through the boosters, but if it's an outside entity, I don't want to say no.
Like Little League, for example, right?
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to say no, but maybe there's a reasonable, percentage, like if they sell X amount of tickets, or maybe we just ask them if they sell tickets, or keep track of how many cars they wash. That's how much, we could somehow find some ratio to set, but I don't know if that's,
Or a flat fee?
or a flat fee.
I think a flat fee would be easier.
The only issue then is if we have a flat fee and one makes more profit than the other does.
Well, they didn't
Yeah.
advertise.
Okay.
It's on them.
Well, you know what I mean, though, because one's taking less water than the other one would
That's why I was
be.
saying percentage, thinking tally, but then how do you
Yeah.
police that?
I agree
the
that
cars,
it's
but-
something that we need to consider because we did come up with a water schedule this summer so that we weren't just using water unknowingly. So we have been trying to be more mindful of that, so I appreciate you bringing this.
And that's only the main events that we don't really have a scale for, right? A charging scale for necessarily, right? I mean, like, for example, if they use the gym, we have a certain charge, right, for the lights and things like that. But we don't really have a charge for, hey, I want to do a car wash in front of the high school. We don't really
Can
have
we,
a charge for that.
can we put a meter on whatever hose unit and then they're charged based off of the meter?
I don't know that answer.
Then, I mean, even if
From
we
the
do
car
that.
wash we just did, there was multiple hoses being
Yeah.
used, so you'd have multiple meters you'd have to purchase.
And then we're paying an employee to monitor that also, which I know who it'll fall on.
Anyway, so we'll bring this back, obviously, but I just wanted to get you thinking about that. And so, but is there any information you would like for me to bring to you guys next time so you can make a better decision? But it sounds like you understand.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have Little League and we have the Chargers.
You have to turn on. I don't hear you.
It's on.
Is it? Hello, hello?
Yeah.
Wow. So how many organizations roughly? It's Little League, Chargers, and
Honestly, there's
Well,
like
we have
four.
we have a bunch of different ones. We have some dance groups
Oh.
that want
Oh,
to.
dance now.
We have, there's a lot.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Dennis.
Not like
Well,
hundreds,
Well,
but
I'm trying to allow the community to use our facilities for stuff without, I don't know how to articulate this right now, without causing too much
totally get
Just
it.
say it.
Yeah.
cost on the school, or also too
We don't
much
have the money,
division.
exactly.
Yeah, so I want people to want to use but I don't know how we are going to maintain or divide or determine what the cost.
And we
I
might
would-
be able to come up
The
with,
percentage hike.
yeah,
and
some
see-
sort
look
of
at
what
the
it might
water
cost,
usage,
you
and
know,
then-
for, let's say, a certain number of gallons or something, you know, I don't really
yeah.
know. It just, it's just becoming, you know, there's a lot of things that have happened that are just, you know, that now cost more money than they did before.
Is there any way to look at, let's say, a May bill compared to what we see in June or August, whenever the car washes, or July, whenever
can certainly
like,
look
the
at
car
that.
washes, you can see how much it increased from
Mm-hmm.
a non-car wash month versus one that we do.
Well,
And we
there
can figure out some type of.
well, here's the issue though. Most car washes happen in the summer when we don't have students in school. So people aren't using water
Oh,
at school.
of course.
Our
Like, I didn't
fields
think
and
about that.
everything are on a water schedule now, but that's not gonna be.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, I would suggest after the conversation is a flat rate we can look more into, or maybe you do some research on what's feasible.
Well, the main thing
for-
was, are you interested in me looking at that? Or is it
Yes.
just, let it just go how it's been going?
Yeah, looking at our water bill and
Yeah.
whatnot, I'm very much interested in all that information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, here's the alternative. If
You say no?
our water bills are too high or we have to cut waters, and that's our sports fields that all these organizations use anyways, the sports fields we're not gonna be able to afford to flourish and water the sports fields, so I don't think there would be too much pushback.
We can also
Or
say
can we
no and challenge them to find a different location.
have an alternative type of fundraiser, or we alternate years where this year it's just 3 organizations, the next year, I don't know.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
But-
so that could be a good way
I-
to still have that community car wash thing.
I think a flat rate and limiting how many car
many?
washes a year we allow.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back with a sample policy next time.
But maybe not the same, like first come, first serve, maybe one organization
Rotating.
gets it, yeah, it's on a rotating basis, just like our athletic
Okay.
uniforms is. That way, people don't put in at the first of the year.
But there
for-
might be organizations that we don't even know about yet that might ask.
If,
I see I mean, I don't want to kick out the organizations that have historically always done it, though.
yeah, like,
Okay. Let's see what I can do.
Need more, need more direction.
more homework, sorry.
Big mashup.
My second thing was, just wanted to update you guys that the after-school safety enrichment grant that we have at the high school that,
Can
Uh,
I just mention something? The interpretation is delayed about 3 or 5 minutes, so it's really hard to be able
Okay.
to follow your
Thank
your
you.
conversation. And mothers are saying to me that they cannot really follow. We have an interpreter with us.
Okay.
Would you allow us to use an interpreter?
well, would it be better for us if we just slowed down and waited a little bit?
I think it's more of the AI. That is the situation. It's like really delayed, like 3 minutes. Like, it's really difficult. When you stop talking, we're still listening to you, and then the other person start talking, and we're still listening to you.
Right,
So
but
it's
I'm
really
wondering if it
confusing.
catches up.
Is there a possibility to catch it up, or can we maybe use a professional interpretation?
So
Okay.
so
We'll
I think
make
we
sure
need to
make
do
a
better on
pause.
our end. So
Yes, we'll
why don't
do
you give
better
us
on
a
our
chance,
end.
I see what you're saying, but why don't you give us a chance to try to fix it on our end of how we're talking so we can pause?
Just for future meetings when we may not have,
Let that play out.
sorry.
So, because I know there's gonna be like a topic that is very important for the mothers, that's why I'm
Totally.
mentioning it.
Yeah.
So, maybe if you finish this topic, and if we saw that there's not any like better situation with interpretation with AI, maybe we can ask Manuel, who is a professional interpreter, to support us.
I don't know that I'm comfortable
I don't
using
know
an outside
Manuel.
interpreter.
No,
That's been
let's
an argument.
see how we're doing here.
Well, okay.
How we doing?
I do agree with that, if that's your decision, but I want to mention that Manuel has been working with so many other school districts, and he's a professional in his work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I think that we need to
Slow
speak a
down.
little bit and then stop and let it catch up and then speak again, if that's the case. Luis, we good? So Boys and Girls Club had a grant to, for a 21st Century High School grant. That then they relinquished, and then now we with Cloverdale Boosters is going to take over. So we're in the process of changing that over. So want to report that.
Gotta love new technology.
You wanna go there?
Okay, so moving on to P, report discussion, Measure H update.
Okay, so the last time we talked, I had mentioned that Calistoga was doing something similar with their property that they had, their surplus property. So I talked to I can't remember their names, but remember they came in and spoke to, I think it was Brookwood, I think is who it was. They spoke with us, or I talked with them, and they said that their scope of work to do a 3 to 6 month feasibility study, which is what they did at Cloverdale, at Calistoga, that would cost between $80,000 and $100,000 to do the feasibility study. They would do basically environmental impacts, work with the planning department, do employee surveys, and then they would do basically a not-to-exceed amount. Remember I told you before that the Calistoga decided to do, kind of set everything up to then sell it to somebody, to an organization? And those are basically, it's called an entitlement effort. So you would get the property entitled, which basically is just ready to go for somebody to come in and start building. And of course, the cost would depend on what the entitlement process would need to be, because he wouldn't be able to tell what fees Cloverdale might charge and things like that. So that's a pretty big sticker. And so I don't know where we would go from here. And again, they were making the properties so they could sell the homes, remember? And we were talked about potentially doing apartments or rental. So that's just bringing back information that you guys had asked me to do. Brookwood is willing to come and give a presentation about what it would look like. But I haven't, I just thought I'd bring it to you guys before we did. They've done a lot so far for free, but we're kind of butting up against the free.
Thoughts?
It's a lot of money.
As well.
So we don't need, I mean, it's nothing pressing, so I just was reporting that back to you guys.
Okay. On to P, report discussion, Measure H update.
That's what we just did.
Oh, duh. Oh, my God. Sorry, P2, summer technology update.
And you have that, right, written down?
Yes.
Oh, you, as submitted, I'll talk.
As submitted.
Thank you. Okay. Now, I would, before we get into the discussion action items, I'd love to take a quick 5-minute recess, if the board will allow, so we can discuss interpretation
How we want to handle
and
it.
how we want to handle that, just so that we don't kind of either go in circles or how we feel, you know what I mean? Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll take a 5-minute recess, starting at 6:26. And then we'll be back in 5. We'll just meet next door, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll meet next door.
real quick.
Yeah.
We can't.
Oh, we can't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Call
not
a
a-
recess.
Oh, you
it's
can call it recess, but you
procedural.
can't have any discussion
Oh, okay,
unless
even if it's
it's an
something new?
agendized closed session.
Oh, okay, so just out loud, we're
Yeah.
good. Okay, so how do we feel? No, no,
No, so how to make this more efficient for
Exactly,
everybody.
to make it more efficient for everyone is what we're wanting to discuss.
Well,
Right.
Because the lag, and I understand, like, the idea of
But
someone else.
Hold on, you guys gotta,
Go back.
there needs to be an agenda item. You can't just have a
Oh,
discussion.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. So, never mind on that. Okay, so we are back. Sorry, guys, that was some confusion on my part. 6:27. Okay. Okay. So on to Q1, consideration and acceptance of donations. We would like to thank the Jefferson PTA, who donated $784.66 to Jefferson School Kindergarten Field Trip. Luther Burbank Center donated $150 to Jefferson School.
pause, slow down. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was going to pause afterwards, so then. Okay, sounds good.
Sorry.
Sorry, that's just, I didn't deal with this last meeting because I wasn't here, so.
It picks everything up.
Okay. CARE Foundation donated $26,184.76 to the district for several programs and field trips during the 2024-2025 school year. Kiwanis of Cloverdale donated several school supplies to Cloverdale High School. Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve all donations.
And we do say thank you.
I
Okay,
second the motion.
okay, second by trustee Garrison. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Now on to Q2, consideration and possible action on Resolution 217-09, recognition of Cloverdale Unified School District as a safe haven school district. Now, what I was thinking, board, this evening, was to open it up for us to discuss materials, whatnot, that we've been given about changes or potential changes first, and then open it up to public comment. Are we okay with that?
My question is, then we're gonna go back into just board discussion with no more community comment after we have our first discussion, correct?
Okay, I'm gonna wait till. So my question is, then we would prefer to do public comment first and then our discussion. And then whatever action we take is whatever action we take.
I just want to make sure that the board has the last conversation, but whether or not we discuss here and then discuss, or just here and then discuss, I want to make sure we have our final discussion before anything is decided upon.
So my thought process was about having us discuss first, is that if, while we're discussing, there are any comments that can address certain things that we are discussing specifically, they can be said, and then we can, at the very end, still finish up our discussion and then move forward.
I'm fine either way.
The other way.
Hey, guys. We really have to make sure that we're speaking into the microphone. Otherwise, if you're pulling back, it's not going to come across, enunciate correctly.
Okay, so we obviously received some emails, some addendums to the safe haven. Would anyone on the board like to speak to any of the potential changes that have been suggested first, or just general thoughts? However we want to start this, I am great with whatever.
You go.
I can give my 2 cents. Am I on? Yeah. I am not in favor of the new addendum or reworded safe haven. As a district, families and community portion, that's a liability issue in my opinion. As I've stated before, I am not in the business of deciding what law enforcement agents can come on campus. We already have protocols that these agencies must have legal documents to even ask any questions. Additionally, I believe our superintendent has taught staff or had trainees showed what the legal documents look like. And so that's where I stand. I'm also not in the business of having other entities decide or board policies. Give me a moment, let's make sure. That's all I have for right now.
I'll go ahead and touch on the topic. I also agree with taking risk on making the school a safe haven for family and community. Not that I, what? Not that I don't understand the gravity of the situation. Not that I don't appreciate the gravity of this situation right now. I don't think taking on families and community for a safe haven in our schools is a liability we should be taking on as a district. I also have reservations with getting staff and other members involved with law enforcement, as we do have trainings. Superintendent Glenn has done trainings with our staff. We are being proactive. We already have a safe haven that's been in place before this came up to topic. I believe at this time we're doing a great job of providing a safe haven for our students.
I just echo the same comments as my two trustees have said. I feel like what our current board policy, our current board resolution, I was on the board when that came to being created, is very equitable and all-encompassing, and I feel what the board is being asked to do is it's being very specific to one demographic and for one purpose, and we're here for all students, and I don't feel like that is what is being asked of us. Therefore, I would say that I would want to stick with our current resolution that we have, because I feel like it's all-encompassing and equitable for everyone.
I would similarly echo what the other trustees have said. We have a resolution that is actually very similar to the one that was being proposed. There really isn't too much that varies from it. I will note that some things kind of are redundant in the new resolution that's already in the original resolution. One variation that is different is this added, the district shall not enter into agreements with state or local law enforcement agencies or any federal agency to use district resources, including personnel or the student data system, to conduct or support immigration enforcement. I believe that is somewhat highlighted already. I also agree that what was said, adding, where is it? Adding families and community. I don't want to add that, not that I don't care, not that I don't want to marginalize anyone, but our responsibility is our students when they're on our campus. And by opening it up to families and communities, it's, in my opinion, the way I look at it, it can be perceived as anyone can just come onto our campus to claim safe haven, whether that's during school hours or not. We, regardless of immigration status, for any person, we have standards for who we allow on our campuses. So that's why I'm not in favor of adding families and community. Another difference is that the new one does state that, or was it? Sorry. The district shall contact the student's parents or guardians prior to handing over or providing information to an agent. I'm totally fine with adding that because in any other situation, we contact the parents. If there's discipline matters, the school contacts the parents. So I'm 100% for adding that portion of it. But I will state that this feels like it's pushing us into a political parameter to take a side in this where we already have a resolution in place. We're here for students, not to be pulled in political directions with what's going on in the nation right now. So that's where I stand on that. We have a resolution that was put in place long before many other districts put one in place. But if we're going to change anything, that would be the only thing I would be in favor of adding to a new resolution. I would just, he said it's okay.
You can say something in the line.
I would just say that if that is added and we do contact the parent or guardian, we still might have to, due to legality, hand over whatever the subpoena or warrant or judicial, whatever the judicial subpoena, court order, or warrant states. We can't delay the process by waiting until the parent shows up. Yes, we can notify the parent or guardian, but I feel like there's a legal time that you can't delay the process if they have all the documents. So I don't want that to be confused if it is added. Yes, we would contact the guardian to let them know this information is being handed over, but we wouldn't wait until they arrived on site. I hope that makes sense, because I don't want to put us in jeopardy of not following what is legally required by the district.
Okay, so I very, very respectfully disagree with my colleagues, only because I think the reality, and I know that, the discussion is certain populations, different privileges, et cetera, but I think when we are the district comprised of who we are comprised of, that I think it's important for all students to feel safe. And the discussion has been made several times that we have mothers, we're not talking, or fathers, we're not talking necessarily only groups outside of our district, saying that their children don't feel safe to come to school. And so for me, the language adopted, I understand the families and community part, I will be honest, is a little ambiguous for me as well. I don't know necessarily what that is all meant to entail, hence why I wanted to do our discussion first, so if we have any public comment. That we can have that discussion. I personally am comfortable with all of the language, but I can understand concerns completely. I just wanted to make sure before we did open it to the public, if there was anything new that has not already been said, that we would then have the opportunity to address that, because this has been on the agenda now for 3 months. And so it would be great to see some resolution one way or the other. So are there any other thoughts before we open it to public comment?
Well, I'll just add that regardless of what happens, there is a resolution in place currently. So however the board votes on this, we have a resolution that is very similar to what is being requested it changed to. I just don't want, I just want to come to a conclusion of this, and whether we go forward with a new resolution or keep the resolution that's already in place. I would like us to then put that out to the community, because I feel like when it was initially brought to us, there was an understanding that we had one in place, and so that added to a lot of the, I don't know the right word, hysteria.
Hostile language.
Maybe, yeah. So that should be put out, because I think a lot of people don't know that there is one in place currently. So regardless of how this goes out, I think we need to communicate this with our public to help ease minds in our community.
Okay, so at this moment, we'd like to open it up to public comment. Now, due to, if in the instance there's translation necessary, 3 minutes, and then obviously the lag time that we're seeing, so a total of 6.
Would it be okay with you to use the word interpreter for the families? It can be like consecutive. You're going to be able to listen all of the rest of the people.
I don't know
I
what
would
he's
say
gonna,
no.
how he,
If you guys don't feel comfortable with it.
yeah, I don't, because I don't know.
Because it's
We haven't
hard
vetted
to-
them.
Our interpreters go through
Vetted.
a process to get.
It's the AI. It's not like-
Let's see how it works.
Right, but I'm just saying in the past that was a concern, that our interpreters weren't quality.
Yes.
But again,
But our
I don't want to be held liable if there's misinterpretation. I mean, I'm assuming you are great. I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude. But we don't have
I'm
the,
sure that it's going to be better than the AI, really. Like,
right, but when we're getting held,
In terms of the time.
when we're getting held to a standard to provide an interpreter, I don't want it to come back and say that we didn't provide an interpreter, if that makes sense.
No,
Is that-
and
Can you,
So that's personal or what is the problem with the interpreter?
no, you know what, we've decided we're not gonna use it. So we'll see again how AI goes, and then we'll move forward.
my question here is how are we going to be sure that you are listening what the mothers are saying?
They have
the
to
right
pause as
words?
well.
That's my only concern.
You guys will have to pause as well, so that when we hear it in English, that we can have time to be able to process what's being said.
It will come out on the speaker.
It's
It'll be
gonna, AI's gonna
translated.
translate back for us.
Okay.
And then if you go to the podium, if you could please give us your name.
Can I go first?
Oh, absolutely.
Do we introduce ourselves?
Yes, please.
My name is Laura, oh, do I bring it down? I have a real loud voice. My name is Laura Equitz. I'm a retired teacher from Geyserville Unified School District, and also identify as a Mexicana, a Latina, and a Mexican. Let me read you what I sent, and I think it's okay because it's public information. My request to Mr. Beebe, the new superintendent of Geyserville Unified School District. Facebook post by Robert Rivas.
Disculpa, alguien que me puede interpretar. Creo que aquí hay el equipo disponible para que todos podamos entender. Sé que ahorita no me vas a entender correctamente, pero aquí tenemos el equipo disponible para que más gente pueda entender todo correctamente y se pueda.
Can I request a recess, please, to regather the room for a moment? And maybe we
Yes.
step and explain to our public the procedure we have to follow in
Yes. Okay, so we'll
the
take.
meeting room?
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. And then the shouting, and then the talking from the, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take a brief recess to gather the room again, just to make sure that we can kind of obviously reset expectations of public comment. Yes. Okay, and that someone.
Well, we can't because then someone has to go, we're just taking a recess. So someone just needs to go talk to them.
Okay. So whenever we are doing public comment, whenever you resume, Laura, sorry about this, guys. It's just obviously a really touchy topic, and we want to make sure that everyone feels very respected and heard. But when our protocol, when we have people speaking from the audience and you're not up at the podium, it completely disrupts the meeting, unfortunately, and then hence why we were going to do a reset. So whenever you do come up to the podium, and you are speaking in English, if you could make sure that you speak into the microphone enough so that we can also hear it, like everyone can then hear it, and yeah, and then pause and then vice versa.
So,
Can the person indicate when to pass, because it's like really difficult, as you were doing with the...
She needs to stop.
I have about 3 things to say, and I'll pause after each one. So back to, can I just go
Yeah,
ahead?
guys,
and-
we just can't have the interruptions. That's what the deal is.
Sorry.
Because unfortunately then,
Right here? Can you hear me? Are we good? Thumbs up?
Wait, one moment, we have to reconvene.
oh, yes, we'll reconvene at 6:52.
No reason. Start.
Okay. Okay. Go for it, Laura.
Roberto Rivas, California State Assembly Speaker, says California will keep the hope alive. Mr. Rivas is from immigrant parents. From his speech, fear is weaponized against the most vulnerable. This weekend, Sunday, in the Press Democrat, 2 huge articles about ICE and the fear is real in Sonoma County. Harvest has begun. But what is the most impressive for me tonight is for this district to have the conversation, pay the respect to the parents, and I will go back to Mr. Beebe and give him a report on how it is to be done, no matter what the outcome is. Because you see, these parents at least know that the administration, hopefully the staff, hopefully the janitors, hopefully everyone is on alert. And like everything else, if I were a teacher, I just want to teach. I just want to enjoy my students. And tell me when my 3 minutes are up. Is it up? So, anyway, I wish all the teachers in here a good year. I hope you can get back to what it's really all about. But the fear is so thick wherever we are in this community of living here in the wine industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Susana Oseguera. Soy madre de dos estudiantes en la escuela Washington y en la high school y parte de Madres Unidas. Estoy aquí nuevamente para pedir que nos apoyen.
Pause so we can hear it back.
Good afternoon. My name is Susana Oseguera. I am the mother of two students at Washington School and in high school. I am part of United Mothers. I am here again to ask for your support. As still we can hear.
Y sobre todo demostrar que no nos rendiremos y somos persistentes hasta lograr cambios.
And above all, demonstrate that we will not give up and we are persistent until we achieve changes.
Que beneficien a nuestros estudiantes, familias que están pasando por preocupaciones y sintiendo mucho temor por la posible presencia de ICE en las escuelas.
That benefit our students and families who are going through worries and feeling a lot of fear about the possible presence of ICE in schools.
La falta de una resolución adecuada no es solamente una oportunidad perdida para el distrito escolar.
The lack of an adequate resolution is not only a missed opportunity for the school district.
También es un daño académico de sus estudiantes y las familias, impactando directamente a la salud mental.
It is also an academic damage to its students and families, directly impacting mental health.
Los padres migrantes tienen miedo de enviar a sus hijos a una escuela donde no tienen la certeza de que se les va a proteger.
Migrant parents are afraid to send their children to a school where they are not sure they will be protected.
Y los estudiantes temen por sus padres si no pueden garantizar el bienestar de sus estudiantes. El bienestar de sus estudiantes perderán valiosos miembros de la comunidad escolar y también el dinero que se recibe del Estado por su asistencia. Con estos todos perdemos.
The well-being of their students will lose valuable members of the school community and also the money received from the state for their assistance with these we all lose.
También, al igual que todos, quiero recordar que lean la carta que se les envió en la mañana, donde está claro que lo que estamos pidiendo está dentro de la ley. Volver a decirles que somos la mayoría quienes somos impactados por sus decisiones.
Also, like everyone, I want to remind you to read the letter that was sent to you in the morning, where it is clear that what we are asking for is within the law. I want to tell you again that we are the majority who are impacted by your decisions.
Estoy muy decepcionada y siento que se han burlado de nosotras al venir a pedir lo que vemos como un problema colectivo y que realmente está afectando y no se hace nada.
I am very disappointed and feel that they have made fun of us by coming to ask for what we see as a collective problem and that is really affecting us and nothing is being done.
Agregando que al igualmente la falta de un intérprete en las reuniones pasadas ha sido muestra de que no le importa el bienestar a la familia, el bienestar de la familia y estudiantes, teniendo como respuesta de ustedes que no hay presupuesto.
Adding that the lack of an interpreter in past meetings has also been a sign that they do not care about the well-being of the family and students, having as a response from you that there is no budget.
Espero que su respuesta sea favorable para el bienestar emocional y que no afecte a futuro. El presupuesto por la falta de estudiantes, esto sería devastador ante la crisis y falta de fondos y presupuestos para las escuelas que también están siendo impactadas por esta administración. Thank you.
I hope your response is favorable for emotional well-being and that it does not affect the budget in the future due to the lack of students. This would be devastating given the crisis and lack of funds and budgets for schools that are also being impacted by this administration.
Thank you. Next comment?
Gracias, próximo comentario.
¿Listo? Buenas tardes, primero que nada a todos. Mi nombre es Juana. Ya. Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Juana Álvarez, madre de 3 niños estudiantes de este distrito, presidenta de ILAC en la escuela de
Good
Jefferson.
afternoon, first of all, everyone.
Y
My name
mi.
is Juana. Good afternoon,
Me
everyone.
espero.
My name is Juana Alvarez, mother of 3 children, students from this district. President of ILAC at Jeffrey School, and me.
Y miembro del grupo de Madres Unidas de Cloverdale. Quiero expresar la importancia de contar con un refugio seguro para nuestros estudiantes en la comunidad de Cloverdale. Como madre comprometida y representante, considero que el bienestar y seguridad de todos nuestros estudiantes debe de ser prioridad.
And as a member of the United Mothers of Clover Group, I want to express the importance of having a safe haven for our students in the Clovers community. As a committed mother and representative, I believe that the well-being and safety of all our students should be a priority.
Por lo cual considero también sería muy importante brindar capacitación a maestros, directores y personal escolar para que
Therefore, I also consider it would be very important to provide training to teachers, principals, and school staff.
sepan cómo actuar de manera rápida y segura en caso de una emergencia.
How to act quickly and safely in an emergency.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es María Aguirre y soy madre de 3 estudiantes en este distrito. Actualmente soy secretaria de DILAC y tengo ese cargo porque me importan mis hijos y todos los estudiantes y también nuestra escuela.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Aguirre and I am a mother of 3 students in this district. I am currently the secretary of the DELAC and I hold that position because I care about my children and all the students, as well as our school.
También soy parte del grupo de Madres Unidas de Cloverdale.
I am also part of the United Mothers of Clover Group.
En este distrito escolar el 65% de los estudiantes vienen de familias hispanas.
In this school district, 65% of the students come from Hispanic families.
La falta de una resolución adecuada no es solamente una oportunidad perdida para el distrito escolar.
The lack of an adequate resolution is not only a missed opportunity for the school district.
También es un daño a la salud mental de sus estudiantes y las familias y por lo tanto de su desarrollo educativo.
It is also harmful to the mental health of students and families and therefore to their educational development.
Los padres migrantes tenemos miedo de enviar a nuestros hijos a la escuela donde no tienen la certeza de que se les va a proteger.
We migrant parents are afraid to send our children to school where they are not certain that they will be protected.
Y los estudiantes temen por sus padres.
And students fear for their parents.
Si no pueden garantizar el bienestar de sus estudiantes, perderán valiosos miembros de la comunidad escolar.
If they cannot guarantee the well-being of their students, they will lose valuable members of the school community.
Y también el dinero que reciben del Estado por su asistencia. Con todo esto, todos perdemos.
And also the money they receive from the state for their assistance. With all this, we all lose.
Las Madres Unidas de Cloverdale, al cual pertenezco junto a Justicia Migrante en Acción, creamos una propuesta de protocolos para saber qué hacer antes durante y después de la presencia de migración en la escuela de Cloverdale.
The United Mothers of Cloverdale, to which I belong, together with Migrant Justice in Action, created a proposal for protocols to know what to do before, during, and after the presence of migrants at the club school.
Mismos que señalan la importancia que todos los maestros, administración y personal reciban entrenamientos, contraten
Same ones that point out the importance of all teachers, administration and staff receiving training.
Contacten a familia y a la red de respuesta rápida del norte de la bahía. Esos son protocolos, también están dentro del marco de la ley.
Family Contact and the North Bay Rapid Response Network. These are protocols that are also within the framework of the law.
En este momento está en sus manos ayudar a personas inmigrantes y prepararnos para responder como los estudiantes en este distrito se merecen. Gracias.
At this moment, it is in your hands to help immigrants and prepare to respond as students in this district deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. Next comment?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Guillermina Velarde, soy madre de 3 estudiantes aquí en el Distrito Escolar de Cloverdale. Estoy aquí porque a pesar de tener privilegios de tener un estatus legal, eso no garantiza que estoy segura y estoy apoyando y preocupada por los padres migrantes y estudiantes que están siendo afectados por las políticas migratorias de esta administración. Es de suma importancia que se apruebe. Quiero que se lo den por corrido.
Good afternoon. My name is Guillermina Gallards. I am the mother of 3 students here in the Global School District. I am here because, despite having the privilege of having legal status, that does not guarantee that I am safe. I am supporting and concerned about the migrant parents and students who are being affected by the immigration policies of this administration. It is of utmost importance that it be approved. I want it to be given immediately.
Es de suma importancia que se aprueben y se implementen los protocolos y la resolución que ya hemos presentado como una manera de proteger ante la posible presencia de ICE en nuestras escuelas.
It is of utmost importance that the protocols and the resolution that we have already presented be approved and implemented as a way to protect against the possible presence of ICE in our schools.
Mi preocupación más grande es la de saber si realmente los maestros y personal están entrenados para situaciones que se presenten, resaltando que hay estudiantes que se quedan después de escuela y no tienen un estatus legal.
My biggest concern is whether teachers and staff are truly trained for situations that may arise, highlighting that there are students who stay after school and do not have legal status.
Quiero recordar que somos un 65% las familias hispanas en este distrito y eso nos pone en alerta y nos da derecho a pedir hasta exigir cambios al ser una mayoría.
I want to remind you that we are 65% Hispanic families in this district, and that puts us on alert and gives us the right to ask for and even demand changes as we are the majority.
Con esta petición, si son aprobadas, el distrito de Cloverdale tiene la oportunidad de ser un distrito modelo donde la administración, los maestros, el staff y padres trabajan unidos para garantizar la seguridad de los estudiantes.
With this petition, if approved, the Cloverdale district has the opportunity to be a model district where the administration, teachers, staff, and parents work together to ensure the safety of students.
Al igual, al ser aceptadas estas enmiendas a la resolución y protocolos, estamos dando mensajes fuertes que nos interesan a nuestros estudiantes y familias y que nos estamos esforzando y cuidando que sientan que pertenecen aquí y que es un refugio seguro para ellos, para todos.
Likewise, by accepting these amendments to the resolution and protocols, we are sending strong messages that we care about our students and families and that we are striving and taking care that they feel that they belong here and that it is a safe haven for them. For everyone.
Ustedes, mesa directiva, superintendentes, recibieron esta mañana un correo de una carta de una persona experta en inmigración, educación, donde está muy claro que nuestro protocolo de resolución está dentro del marco de la ley.
This morning, an email with a letter from an expert in immigration education where it is very clear that our resolution protocol is within the framework of the law, clearly.
Necesitamos que aprueben hoy si es posible, ya que es un tema de urgencia porque nuestros estudiantes tienen mañana su regreso a clases y no podemos seguir aumentando el trauma a familias que afectan de muchas maneras su rendimiento escolar.
We need them to approve it today if possible, since it is an urgent matter because our students have to return to school tomorrow and we cannot continue to increase the trauma to families that affects their academic performance in many ways.
Hemos sentido discriminación ante nuestras peticiones nuevamente, recalcando que somos la mayoría del distrito y ustedes tienen la responsabilidad de atender, cambiar ante esa necesidad, nuestras necesidades.
We have felt discrimination in our requests, once again emphasizing that we are the majority in the district and you have the responsibility to address our needs and change them.
No es justo que los niños vengan con miedo a su propia escuela donde se supone que es el segundo lugar más seguro para ellos. Y ellos están teniendo el miedo de llegar a clase.
Which is supposed to be the second safest place for them. And they are having fear. Get to class.
Y en eso somos responsables todos. Ustedes, nosotros, el distrito completamente. Deberíamos de apoyarnos.
And in that we are all responsible, we in the district should fully support each other.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Eva Ruiz, soy mamá de 2 hijos y están en la high school.
Good afternoon. My name is Eva Ruiz. I am the mother of 2 children and they are in high school.
Y como mamá estoy preocupada por esta situación que estamos viviendo por lo de migración.
And as a mother, I am worried about this situation we are experiencing due to immigration.
Y me pregunto si las escuelas y el personal están preparados para una situación de que llegue ICE se han puesto a pensar si esto sucediera, van a poner a la escuela. Y al distrito en una situación de emergencia, ya que son muchas familias y estudiantes migrantes.
In the district in an emergency situation since there are many migrant families and students.
La resolución de refugio seguro que actualmente el distrito escolar tiene es buen paso. Sin embargo, es insuficiente y ustedes como miembros de la mesa directiva pueden hacer más poderosa y relevante.
The safe haven resolution that the school district currently has is well passed, however, it is insufficient. And you as members of the board of directors can make it more powerful and relevant.
Y al tomar todas las medidas legales para garantizar que todos los estudiantes y padres estén seguros en nuestra escuela.
And by taking all legal measures to ensure that all students and parents are safe in our school.
Como ya se les informó, pueden garantizar que los padres sean notificados de cualquier presencia de agente de inmigración en las escuelas y asegurar
As you have already been informed, you can ensure that parents are notified of any presence of immigration agents in schools and ensure
que no colaborarán sin una orden judicial con agencias locales ni federales para apoyar a los esfuerzos del gobierno.
that they would not cooperate without a court order with local or federal agencies to support the government's efforts.
Para separar a nuestras familias, y esto no puede ser permitido en nuestro distrito, ya que suministra
to separate our families, and this cannot be allowed in our district as it applies.
A una institución que se encarga de crear una educación, amor en los estudiantes y quienes son el futuro de un mejor mañana.
To an institution that is responsible for creating a loving education in students and who are the future of a better tomorrow.
Y de antemano confío en ustedes que harán decisiones por nuestras familias migrantes.
And I trust in you in advance that you will make decisions for our migrant families.
Sin olvidar que tenemos apoyo de red de respuesta rápida y que estamos
Without forgetting that we have rapid response network support and that we are
feliz de ayudarnos y entrenamiento y mantener la seguridad de todos. Gracias.
how happy to help us and cope with training and keep everyone safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, trustees and superintendent. My name is Jade Weymouth, and I come here as a mother and a community member. I'm here to express my concern about the lack of professional language access and the absence of meaningful collaboration or even curiosity about what Las Madres Unidas are asking of the district. These mothers are raising important questions about how our school can truly be a safe haven for all of our students, especially immigrant and multilingual families. These are not outside entities. These are your children's friends and your children's neighbors. Language access is not just a courtesy, it is a legal and moral responsibility. When parents cannot fully understand district communications, policies, or procedures because interpretation and translation is inconsistent or unprofessional, we fail to uphold equity. This barrier shuts families out of decision-making that directly impacts their children. In addition, the district's policies and procedures around ICE and immigration enforcement need to reflect the realities and the fears of the majority in our community. Those who have historically been underinvested in, overlooked, and underacknowledged. These are families who may not speak up in public meetings, but who deserve to be protected, informed, and included. I'll give you a hug when I'm done. I urge the district to commit to consistent professional interpretation and translation services in all meetings and communications. Meet directly with Las Madres Unidas to understand and address their requests. Review and strengthen ICE-related policies to ensure they reflect the needs and the rights of our most vulnerable students and families. Specifically, the request to contact guardians if an agent arrives with a judicial warrant. Our schools are strongest when they listen to, respect, and act on the concerns of all families, not just the ones whose voices are easiest to hear. You cannot be for all students in Cloverdale if you aren't for the most vulnerable ones too. This isn't a political moment. It's a moment that these mothers are asking you to meet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sheila Bell. I'm a retired teacher. I'm president of the CTA Retired Teachers North Bay. We worked with teachers in 2016 and parents. This is different. The depth of what is happening and the fear that it has promulgated is intense. Number of us have gone through the training to be rapid response agents. And we note that protocols are in place, but we witness every day that those protocols are violated. We know that we in education represent everyone fairly. That's our goal. But what is happening now is one demographic is being targeted, not all demographics. We encourage you to do everything possible to make the parents and the students feel safe, because when they're not safe, they can't learn and they won't come to school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Manuel Gonzalez. I heard somebody say you guys don't know me. Now you know me. I can kind of, I have no game in this. I don't live in this area. I'm from another area. But one of the things I do notice is I can kind of see the tension in some of your guys' body language. So I want you to take that tension and make it 1,000 every day, because that's what some of these parents are feeling every day when they're dropping off their kids at school. I have the privilege of not knowing that fear, but I don't have the privilege of not knowing people in your community that don't live with that fear. Whatever you guys decide to do, whether it's in the law, out of the law, we've heard many times people say, I was just following orders. My grandfather left Germany and went to Mexico because he knew people were just going to be following orders, and he didn't want to be on that side of the law. So whatever you guys decide to do today, it's up to you. But once again, just think about the uncomfortable feeling I'm seeing in some of you, and understand that you guys have the privilege to, after this meeting is done, that's going to be gone. You're not going to feel that uncomfortableness. But some of these parents in here are going to feel that every day this school year. And one thing I can tell you, at least thank God, or whatever you believe in, that you guys don't have to live like that. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? I want to make sure we get to everyone who'd like to speak.
I'm waiting for the interpretation to finish, My name is Handri. I am part of MIJA, Migrant Justice in Action. And I really want you to sit in that uncomfort that Manuel addressed, no? But I also want you to think about the conversation started 3 months ago when the conversation was very different. The conditions have changed. People are being targeted not whether they have a documentation status, but by the color of their skin. We know, we've seen the news. You've most likely seen the news of what's happening. People are being arrested, legal observers are being arrested who have documentation to be here, no? So we're really just asking you to do what's right. Close your doors. Abide by what we have provided for you, what lawyers have reviewed. Reporting to the Rapid Response Network is the most basic thing that you can do. The mothers know that the board is at this point, not the way to actually protect each other, but actually within us as people. We've been demonstrated by every institution that these institutions really don't care about their people. And you really have the place and the privilege to change that and to show otherwise. So really just think about it, it's been legally reviewed. The work has been done for you. The research has been done for you. The labor was taken away from your hands. That labor has been done for you. All you gotta do is just think critically and think about the moment that we're living in. The conversation has changed. The conditions have changed. As educators, your job has changed. We've seen the president banning education and certain curriculums. Your positions continue getting into that red zone. You're also one of the targeted. Just think about it. Really think about it. At what point are they going to come after you?
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Gina Garibo. I'm the organizer with Migrant Justice in Action Initiative with MBOP, and also organizer with the North Bay Rapid Response Network. I want to share with you, as you might know with some of the news, that a couple of months ago, in one school in LA School District, immigration law enforcement arrived and go to the front desk of the school saying that they have permission from the parents of some students to do wellness checking. Thankfully, that school was prepared and ready. What they did, they just called the family, and they realized that that was a lie. They were not informed at all about those kind of check-ins for wellness of the kids. They were not having any judicial warrants. They were not following the rules that they must do. They are not doing it anymore. And that is the current reality all these families are living. And I'm just asking you to do the right thing, not only for these families and their kids, you're the students, but for all the students in this district. Because if migrant students are safe, also all students are safe. It's not about the visions in here. It's just about doing the right thing. 3 days ago, outside Arleta High School in LA, a 15 years old with a disability was detained by ICE. Was detained by ICE when he was going with his family just for register for the new school year. Are we ready to respond that? I'm really thankful. I'm really glad that you are now having these trainings. And by giving these trainings, I don't know to who, but by giving these trainings not only to staff, not only to teachers, not only to administration, to all the staff members in the school district, you are keeping all the students protected and safe. Why? Because as you were saying, thinking that they are following the rule, they are not following the rule. And we must be ready to respond when they are not following the rule. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is knowing what to do in advance, not putting another weight in the shoulders of teachers. And imagine how it's going to be that one of your kids is taken away without you being notified. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other public comment on this particular agenda item? So, after hearing public comment, any other thoughts, discussion points we want to have? I'll open it up to the board.
I'll just reiterate that I'll reiterate that I am comfortable or satisfied. I believe that the safe haven we already have adopted encompasses all students. I do agree that under the one families and communities should be removed. There's a giant red section on the back page should be removed. The only thing I'm comfortable with adding would be that calling out the district shall contact the students' parents and guardians prior to handing over or providing information. I'm okay with doing that. I feel like a lot of the ask is knowing what our protocols or procedures or trainings is, which we have done that. I'm uncomfortable when we have our safety plan and putting that out publicly so that the bad people will know exactly what our plan is. And I kind of feel like yes, it's public information and someone can request that, but I feel like having it out available to the public gives people the ability to know how to maneuver around that And we do have our trainings and, you know, different guidelines of how staff is to handle that, but to make that out there and available, it makes me uncomfortable because, again, you're providing that information for easy access. So I don't want to make that 100%. Does that make sense? That I want to kind of keep them protected by not having that out for easy access.
I think for me, the way that I look at the language, there is much of this that we already do or will implement as a district. And I feel like if the ask is to put it in more concrete language into our safe haven policy, that is something small, but such a great gesture and showing our commitment to work with people within our community. And so therefore, I am all for adding the content that was put into red. But again, that's my perspective. Many of this stuff we already do, but I think if that's what's being asked and that communicative piece is being asked, I don't see it as a big ask or anything that would be problematic for me to approve.
First, I'm glad that you all came to share your opinions. Like I said before, I am okay with the previous resolution. A lot of what at least from my perspective, a lot of what I heard today was in regards to immigration law, ICE, doing whatever they're doing. But as a trustee, I'm about the students on our campuses, and I believe we have the protocols in place. I know our job is not to litigate public immigration policy or whatever ICE does. Our job is to protect our students. Once
I'm very sorry. We have to, it's a discussion between us board members, so, thank you. Trustee Ogamian?
Yes. As I was saying, our students. So once any students are on our campus, we would do our best to protect, follow the law, make sure family is notified, but we're not going to put ourselves in a battle. And I will go out, I'm pretty sure, it's just my opinion, ICE will not come to our campuses, but if they do, anyone's children is not just going to be handed over, here you go. Documents.
Trustee, as long as we're, just addressing, only
Document,
because then it engages. and so-
legal procedure will be followed. And that's all I have. I understand people's political perspective, but that's what I heard a lot today. Lots of fear over immigration policies. And I don't think that's board responsibility. Our responsibility is students once they're on our campus.
I do think, I'll wait. Oh, okay. I understand the concerns about the political nature, but under other administrations, we have not seen this happen. And it's difficult to separate, I feel, the political from reality or what we want to get entangled with, because it is the reality for so many families in our community. And I think it's not necessarily, it can't not be political, but at the same time, I don't think, or I feel that this is coming from necessarily a political agenda. they just want to feel with these different changes, or at least additions, sorry, that their kids feel safe. And so that's kind of more of my takeaway from it. But again,
I disagree, because that's what I heard. I heard lots of positioning. And so, I don't know. I mean, that's not just my perspective. I heard lots of kind of positioning towards one side of the political aisle. And it seems to me that our kind of board policy wants to facilitate that position. And I'm here for students on our campus and our campus only. And we'll do our best to protect everyone equally. And I'm sure our superintendent has done lots of good trainings, and I'm sure our staff are going to follow the law to a T.
any other thoughts?
Well, I mean, I'll just reiterate what I said earlier about the difference between the two. Most of it is already encompassed in the resolution we have. Really, the only thing that is added that isn't a redundancy to what is in here is contacting the parents. So that I fully support. I think absolutely the parents should be contacted. So where I sit with this is I'm fine with our resolution. If we're going to change it, I would like to add in that the parents will be contacted if information is handed to an agent. So I would support the resolution if we add the district shall contact the students' parents or guardians when handing over or providing information to an agent has taken place. I changed that a little bit.
Provided in the first place.
I'm sorry. Public comment, guys, has already been, so if we just need to make sure that we're being respectful and following. I am so sorry, sir.
I will-
No, I'm sorry, sir. Okay,
So
yeah, that's enough. Okay.
this is a off-topic discussion, but I have my notes on my phone, just so everyone understands. I have the emails, all your emails and all that stuff. It's on my phone. I'm not on Facebook.
No, I'm sorry, sir. If you are not going to be able to remain silent at the appropriate time, we're just going to have to ask you to leave.
Back to our discussion, just so we're all aware. And yeah, I'm okay if we want to add what Ashley, Trustee Lopez White said to our previous resolution.
And I will just clarify that in this, I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole extent. With adding that, the whole extent of it states that the Cloverdale Unified School District Board shall not allow ICE agents or immigration law enforcement on school sites, facilities, or material property without receiving prior approval from the superintendent unless the agent possesses a warrant or court order. The district shall contact the students' parents or guardians. So I just want to clarify that that is encompassed in there, that it states a warrant or court order.
Okay, any other thoughts before we move to take action?
I would also be willing to adopt that. Thank you. I would also be willing to adopt that new verbiage.
I think it bears mentioning, though, that on the second sentence of that paragraph you're talking about does not include immigration law enforcement currently. So are we talking about adding that also? Do you see what I'm talking about? It says ICE agents, or that's an addition also? Just want to
I'm
make sure.
fine with that.
Okay, just for clarification.
So would I make a motion to, I just want procedural confirmation here.
Yeah, you'd make a motion to approve.
To approve. Is this a new resolution or are we amending a resolution?
I would say it would be a new one. We would amend it, but it would become, we would re-sign it, essentially, yes.
Okay, so can we approve it here with the changes? Or does it have to be drafted up and brought back for approval?
You can approve with the changes, then we will draft it up and then get it out.
Okay,
So
so then I would make a motion to approve the new safe haven resolution with adding this paragraph that the Cloverdale Unified School District Board shall not allow ICE agents or immigration law enforcement on school sites, facilities, or material property without receiving prior approval from the superintendent unless the agent possesses a warrant or court order. The district shall contact the student's parents or guardians when handing over or providing information to an agent has taken place.
I'm a bit confused. Are we saying that we're,
Do you want to look at this? Sorry.
because I have the same thing, I just want to make sure. So you want to add this to?
That's the change.
That's a change, okay.
Exactly. And trustee Ogamian, just to make sure, we can't discuss until we have a second, just to make sure. Yeah, clarification's totally fine. Okay, so I have a motion by trustee Lucas White with that new policy adding that section in. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second the motion.
Okay, trustee Zekwitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay for me. And so that will move forward. Okay, on to, oh yes, thank you guys for being here this evening.
Thank you.
It was much appreciated to see this many people come out.
Are you a nay because you want to help with it all?
I wanted all of it, so that's the reason. Okay, so on to Q3, consideration and possible action to allow non-enrolled students residing within the district boundaries to participate in extracurricular activities. Do we have any public comment on this particular agenda item?
Did you want to say anything else today? You don't have to, no, I just wanted to make sure you knew this was the one we were talking about.
Okay, I mean, just be the same as I said, but I hadn't met.
You are more than welcome to come up to the podium and give comment, yes. Okay. And actually, if you want to give a couple minutes, just kind of while people organize themselves, yes. Yes. We'll wait just another minute or so.
You're like, why is it looking at me all the time? He's been giving me the thumbs up all the time.
Okay, you're more than welcome to come to the podium.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Deanna Bernard, and I am mother to Phoenix Norm Bernard. And I presented last month about my son, who he's in a public charter, Heartwood. So we were on a homestead up 128, and we do schooling at home. But our whole community is in Cloverdale. We go to church here. We've played sports here for the last 4.5 years with soccer, basketball, and baseball, especially baseball. So Phoenix, my son, his whole community is here, and he's getting to the age where he will soon be aging out of rec. And so all his community, his friends, and everyone that he plays sports with is here in Cloverdale. So I know that at times in the past that the district has permitted independent study or public charter children to be able to play school sports. So I wanted to be able to bring that up and see if that was open for acceptance by Cloverdale School District. Let me think. There was one other piece that I did email you, and I don't know if it should be an addendum or after this piece is discussed, but it is that I am in a weird dead zone, like right where Yorkville, Cloverdale, and Hopland meet. I'm off grid. So I don't know if I'm exactly, I think I'm like right, one of my parcels is in Yorkville, one's in Hopland. So, I mean, my community's here. I'm right next to Cloverdale. So I don't even know when you said it included in the school district, if it would even accept me anyhow, but this is where I'm closest to, and this is our home, so. Thank you.
Yeah, so what she's mentioning is I think technically, as she's bringing up too, is technically her property's not in our school district, but who knows if those lines are right. I mean, it's one of those things where, like she's saying, it's out there, right? It's kind of off-grid out there. And so, like, for example, the line from us in Geyserville is farther than you might think it is. And again, I don't know, I haven't been here long enough, I don't even know if people that have been, when those lines got drawn, or, you know, is there an actual point type of thing. But so anyway, just clarifying on that. So we did get that email today. But it's not super clear. It's just, it seems like that, like she's saying, when you look at the map. It does look like that.
Does the board have any discussion, thoughts? Or do we want to go into making a motion? What are we thinking?
I mean, for discussion or thoughts, I'm not looking at this item as for a particular student. I'm looking at it as in general because of how we would apply it to anybody for this board policy. So I'm not looking at it as an individual person. I'm looking at it as how we would treat any non-CUSD student that would want to participate in extracurricular activities such as sports. For me, concerns I have is homeschool students don't contribute to the district, especially in a financial way. We don't get tax dollars based off of we don't get funding from homeschooled students. We are not a basic aid district, so the only way we get our funding is if a student is actually in the seat. We have 1,500 students. We really don't. But if we had 1,500 students and only 1,000 showed up, we only get paid for 1,000 students. Whereas Healdsburg is basic aid. If they have 1,500 students and 1,000 students show up, they get paid for 1,500 students. So we only get our funding based off of students showing up to school. Another concern I have is it's an added liability for someone who is not a student of our district. That would be another potential expense for us. And our students are allowed to participate in extracurricular by meeting certain standards. That is attendance, having certain GPA or grades, behavior, and we don't have the ability to assess those for homeschool students because we don't have access to that. And we also don't know what their curriculum is based off of our curriculum. Another concern could be a homeschool student or a non-district student. I don't want to say just homeschooled, but a non-district student wanting to participate could potentially be taking a spot of an actual student if there's a limitation on how many people could play that sport or do that activity. And our students are here, and it's a reward, if you will, in a way for them to be able to do these activities by being a part of our district or community, if you will. And I understand that there are people who go to other schools, regardless of if it's out of district or online or whatever, and I feel like that is a choice that they're making to not be a part of our district, and choices have consequences, and that's just something to be considered.
So I love children playing athletics. I played it all my life. You learn so many great things. I know I coach. My wife coached, so we love it. We think it's a great deal. I just have it's just difficult to have kind of that oversight of conduct in regards to grades, behavior, attitude, because, correct me if I'm wrong, the individuals who are able to play in our school teams, they are student athletes. Even, they're students first, and then that extra reward is to be able to play whatever sport, depending on if they meet our standard that we hold. And so, as much as I would, as much as some students that are not part of our district may be outstanding athletes or able to do so many things, especially at the elementary school, middle school level, it just puts us in kind of a tough situation on how are we going to monitor and how are we going to reward participation. And then, these athletes still have to complete these courses in class, then go home, do homework, practice, and someone who is either at a charter school or at a homeschool has the opportunity to modify their schedules. Does that make sense? So, and if we make an exception, then there's no closing that door per se. As much as, I love athletes, trust me, I do. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know what else you guys.
I'd say your thoughts are echoing a lot of mine. Yeah, if we do it for one, we have to offer for all.
I agree with all of the comments made by the other trustees tonight. Just to add to it, though, if we set this precedence, then there's no going back. You have to do it for everyone. And I've coached high school sports, middle school sports, little kids, but something that is very consistent that I've seen with the middle school and high school level is I feel like a lot of kids ask to be homeschooled or don't want to come to school, and being able to be on a sports team is their incentive to coming to school and doing good. And if we open this door, we're going to lose our student body. And that not only there's the funding aspect because we receive funding from students who are enrolled in class. But that would take away from more than just our sports programs. It's going to take away from every program within our school if we lose funding from attendance. So,
And I think for me, it's definitely not an easy decision. If you look at all the letters and you look at all the support, it's so wonderful to see that outpouring. And unfortunately, it does, and I agree with all of the comments made by my other fellow board members. It's setting a precedent and opening that door, and it's not something we can close. And so, unfortunately, we have to look at it more in a grander idea as opposed to just individually, unfortunately. So any other thoughts? So whenever we're making action, by the way, our possible action would to be,
Well, you wouldn't have to make any action if you're not going to amend
okay.
the current state, because
To
the
be
current
allowed,
basically
okay.
state says that they have to be a student.
Okay.
So if they weren't a student and you were allowing that, then we would have to update the
Okay.
board policy.
But
So
if we're
that's
gonna
why the
keep-
board policy is in there, so.
Yeah, if we're going to keep it the way that it is.
And
then-
remember, it's discussion and action, so it doesn't mean
Yeah.
it has to have action, that's why it says possible action as well.
Yep.
Does that clarify?
Mhm. Oh, yes. Well, we would have you go to the podium again. Are we allowing it since it's still, but didn't we, can we open it back up again?
It's your board meeting.
Okay, if you'd
That's
like
fine,
to,
you
is
just have to
everyone
go-
okay? If you come up and make a comment? Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
fine, you just have to go up to the
Yes,
podium.
the podium. Just so that everyone who's watching online can hear you too.
I'm sorry, I don't know the protocol, so if I'm allowed to respond to what you stated, may I offer anything, or is that not allowed? Is that how it functions?
No,
No?
unfortunately not.
Okay. Would I then bring it to another open comment at another meeting? Possible, like, solutions to address that? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it would be public comment on, beyond non-agenda items.
At the next
Yes,
meeting.
So the next meeting at the
Yes.
open part, then I can just bring my...
On non-agenda items, yes.
But you're always able to email us or talk to us outside of the boardroom also.
I was going to say, you can also email me again too, if you have a different topic that I can then discuss with the board, because if it's an extension of kind of what you're doing, then we
Yeah.
can do that, so.
Okay.
I wouldn't say you need to come for a new public comment.
I'll be keep coming like every month. to talk.
We can have more correspondence though, for sure.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. No action. Okay. On to Q4, consideration and possible approval of the 2025-2026 adopted budget.
As submitted.
Thank you very much. Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the 2025-2026 adopted budget, 45-day revise?
I'll move to approve Q4.
Okay, I have a motion by trustee Lopez White. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, trustee Ogamian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now on to Q5, discussion and possible approval of resolution 226-03, classroom capacity limits for purposes of granting or denying interdistrict transfer requests.
This is just a yearly.
Okay. Okay, so do I have a motion?
I move to approve Q5.
Okay, I have a motion by trustee Lopez White. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, trustee Zekowitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, aye. Any opposed? Okay, so moving on to our future agenda items. We do not have any currently. Is there anything that the board would like to add to that area? Well, we want to talk about Brookwood still? Like, are there some things
Yeah,
that we
so-
want to, okay.
Can I have it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, thoughts on moving forward with that? Do you want to leave it alone for a little bit?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then the second thing is, remember, think about a date after the 10th that we can have a special meeting to talk about my goals, remember? So think about that date. And then remember the December date will be, since it's a non-election year, that December date, exactly. That December date, am I supposed to be waiting? Okay. That December date will be our reorganization meeting. And so remember how, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but if it's an election year, it has to, there's a certain time frame it has to do. So that'll be our date. Do we know if does that date work? Yeah, that date works, so. Because we have to do the first interim at that time too, so.
Okay, perfect.
And then my other question was the fundraising part, right? We're going to bring that back, and I was going to bring back, just so I know it was, so just for clarification purposes, you're asking me to bring back some sample language and potentially like a resolution or something like that that shows kind of more parameters on the things that, or you know what, maybe, I'm wondering if we should, now I'm thinking about it, maybe we should just put it on the facility use sheet. Maybe that's just the way to go.
Yeah.
And add a section.
And is
So-
it also possible to look at differences? Like, I know that, because Ashley brought up a great point, but is there any way to see or quantify how much it has increased?
Yeah, because I would hate to see, like, if somebody goes out and raises $200 and we're like, hey, that
Give us
money's
10%,
ours.
and then it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
So
that's the
reality.
that's the risk you're taking anyways. Like a tournament, wrestling
Right.
has had to
Yeah.
rent the facility to do a tournament, and it was a lot of money, and it was like, oh, are we gonna make this much or not?
Feels weird. And I could also ask other districts what they're doing too, because we can't be the only one that's having these issues, unless we're the only ones that have all these car washes, I guess. But I think the idea is good. It's just that I want to make sure that we're fiscally prudent, right? We got to make sure that that's happening, especially because it seems like a lot of the organizations that want to do that are not our organizations.
Directly
I say that because
benefiting.
they're our kids, but they're not our specific organizations.
Okay.
So, okay. Any other things that came up during the meeting that you want to make sure we get on there? Compared to what, in addition to what I already said? Okay.
Okay, so on to future board meeting dates. We have one September 10th, October 8th, November 12th, and December 10th, all at 6 p.m.
Move to adjourn at 8:02.
Trustee Garrison moves to adjourn at 8:02. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Zekowitz, all those in favor? Aye. I'm guessing no opposed.
Has everybody not
Okay,
been
thank you
in-
guys for coming out
Has
tonight.
anybody not been in favor of that?